HONEYCOMB, textbook in English for class 7, page 114, chapter 8, Fire, Friend and Foe. Before you read, fire is both useful and dangerous. What is fire? How did we discover it? How do we control it? Early man didn't know what fire was, but he must have seen the damage it could cause. He must have watched lightning and volcanoes long before he began to use fire himself. Fire was powerful and dangerous, and he was frightened. Fire may have puzzled early man, but we now know that fire is the result of a chemical reaction. When the oxygen in the air combines with carbon and hydrogen in a fuel, a chemical reaction takes place. Energy in the form of heat and light is released in this process. This is what we call fire. 3 things are needed to make fire: fuel, oxygen, and heat. Wood, coal, cooking gas, and petrol are some examples of fuel. Oxygen comes from the air. That is why when you blow on smoldering paper, it often bursts into flame. The third thing needed to make fire is heat. Fuel and oxygen do not make fire by themselves, or else a newspaper or a stick lying in the open would catch fire on its own. Word meanings: smoldering, burning slowly without flame. Smoldering means burning slowly without flame. Page 115. To burn a piece of paper or wood, we heat it before it catches fire. We generally do it with a lighted match. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it begins to burn. This temperature is called the flash point or kindling temperature of the fuel. It is sometimes said that fire is a good servant but a bad master. It only means that fire is very useful as long as it is kept under control. For instance, we use it to cook our food, warm our homes in winter, and to generate electricity. But on the other hand, if fire gets out of control, it can be very dangerous. Each year, thousands of homes and shops are damaged by fire. Vast areas of forest are also destroyed, and hundreds of people are killed or injured. Just as 3 things are needed to start a fire, there are 3 main ways in which a fire can be put out. In each, one of the 3 things needed for burning is taken away. Word meanings: generate means produce. Page 116. For example, we can take away the fuel. If fire has no fuel to feed on, no burning can take place. We often let a fire die out simply by not adding more fuel to it. The second way of putting out a fire is to prevent oxygen from reaching it. No supply of oxygen means no fire. Small fires can be put out or smothered with a damp blanket or a sack. This stops oxygen reaching the burning material. Sometimes carbon dioxide is used to extinguish fire. It does not allow oxygen to reach the burning material. The third way of putting out a fire is to remove the heat. If the temperature can be brought down below the flash point, the fuel stops burning. You blow on a burning matchstick or a candle to put it out. In doing so, you remove the hot air around the flame bringing down its temperature below the flash point, and the candle goes out. Sometimes water is sprayed on a fire. It absorbs heat from the burning fuel and lowers the temperature. The blanket of water also cuts off the supply of oxygen and the fire is extinguished. Some fires cannot be put out with water. If water is sprayed onto an oil fire, the oil will float to the top of the water and continue to burn. This can be very dangerous because water can flow quickly, carrying the burning oil with it and spreading the fire. Water should also not be used on fires caused by electrical appliances. The person spraying water might receive an electric shock and be killed. A carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing to fight an electrical fire. Word meanings: add fuel to the flames. Idiom, which means say or do something that makes people react more strongly and fiercely. Smothered means suffocated from lack of air. Extinguish means put out. Page 117. We spend millions of rupees each year in fighting fires, and we spend more trying to find new ways of preventing fires from happening and getting out of control. On the whole, we have learnt rather well to control fire and to put it to good use in our everyday life. Long ago, there were no firemen. When fire broke out, everybody became a firefighter. People formed human chains, they still do if required, and passed buckets of water from a well or a pond to the blaze. Now, there are laws about building construction which ensure that the space is left between buildings to reduce the fire risk. Now, there are laws about building construction which ensure that space is left between buildings to reduce the fire risk. Every new building, especially a public place, must ensure observance of fire prevention norms. Bands of firefighting workers with special equipment known as fire brigades are there to put out fire. Firefighters are highly trained people. They possess many skills. They cut off electricity supply, knock down dangerous walls, spray water and other materials to bring fire under control. They are also trained in first aid so that they can help people suffering from burns or from the effects of smoke. Word meanings: bands means groups. Equipment means things needed. Page 118. The discovery of fire and its uses helped early man to cope with the nature better and gradually adopt a settled mode of life. Fire is still worshipped in many parts of the world. Fire is indeed a friend, but as we know, it can be a dangerous enemy once it gets out of control. Word meanings: cope means deal with or manage. Comprehension check. Question 1. Mark the correct answer in each of the following. 1. Early man was frightened of A. lightning and volcanoes, B. the damage caused by them, C. fire. Second, A. fire is energy, B. fire is heat and light, C. fire is the result of a chemical reaction. Question 2. From the boxes given below, Choose the one with the correct order of the following sentences. 1. That is fire. 2. A chemical reaction takes place. 3. Energy in the form of heat and light is released. 4. Oxygen combines with carbon and hydrogen. Options of the order: 1, 2, 3, 4, or 2, 3, 1, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1, or 4, 2, 3, 1. You have to choose the correct order. Page 119. Working with the text. Answer the following questions. Question 1. What do you understand by the flash point of a fuel? Question 2, Part 1. What are some common uses of fire? Part 2. In what sense is it a bad master? Question 3. Match items in column A with those in column B. Items in column A are: number 1, fuel; number 2, oxygen; number 3, heat. Items in column B are lighted matchstick, air, coal, burning coal, wood, smoldering paper, cooking gas. You have to match the items of column A with those in column B. Question 4. What are the 3 main ways in which a fire can be controlled or put out? Question 5. Match the items in box A with those in box B. Items in box A are: number 1, to burn paper or a piece of wood; number 2, small fires can be put out; number 3, when water is spread on fire; number 4, a carbon dioxide extinguisher is the best thing; number 5, space left between buildings. Items in column B are: A. It absorbs heat from the burning material and B. lowers the temperature, C. reduces the risk of fire, D. with a damp blanket, E. we heat it before it catches fire, F. to put out an electrical fire. Page 120. Question 6. Why does a burning candle go out when you blow on it? Question 7. Spraying water is not a good way of putting out an oil fire or an electrical fire. Why not? Question 8. What are some of the things you should do to prevent a fire at home and in school? Working with language. Question 1. Read the following sentences. To burn paper or a piece of wood, we heat it before it catches fire. We generally do it with a lighted match. Every fuel has a particular temperature at which it burns. The verbs in italics are in the simple present tense. When we use it, we are not thinking only about the present. We use it to say that something happens all the time or repeatedly, or that something is true in general. Find 10 examples of verbs in the simple present tense in the text fire, friend and foe and write them down here. Do not include any passive verbs. Question 2. Fill in the blanks in the sentences below with words from the box. You may use a word more than once. The words in the box are carbon, cause, fire, smother. 1. Gandhiji's life was devoted to the blank of justice and fair play. Number 2. Have you insured your house against blank? Number 3. Diamond is nothing but blank in its pure form. Number 4. If you put too much coal on the fire at once, you will blank it. Page 121. Number 5. Smoking is said to be the main blank of heart disease. Number 6. When asked by an ambitious writer whether he should put some blank into his stories, Somerset Maugham murmured, "No, the other way round." Number 7. She is a blank copy of her mother. Number 8. It is often difficult to blank a yawn when you listen to a long speech on the value of time. Question 3. One word is italicized in each sentence. Find its opposite in the box and fill in the blanks. Words in the box are spending, shut, destroy, subtract, increase. Number 1. You were required to keep all the doors open, not blank. Number 2. Pupil. What mark did I get in yesterday's maths test? Teacher. You got what you get when you add 5 and blank 10 from the total. Number 3. Run 4 kilometers a day to preserve your health. Run a lot more to blank it. Number 4. If a doctor advises a lean and lanky patient to reduce his weight further, be sure he is doing it to blank his income. Number 5. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and blank, we lay waste our powers. By Wordsworth. Question 4. Use the words given in the box to fill in the blanks in the sentences below. The words in the box are across, along, past, through. Number 1. The cat chased the mouse blank the lawn. Number 2. We were not allowed to cross the frontier, so we drove blank it as far as we could and came back happy. Page 122. Number 3. The horse went blank the winning post and had to be stopped with difficulty. Number 4. It is not difficult to see blank your plan. Anyone can see your motive. Number 5. Go blank the yellow line, then turn left. You will reach the post office in 5 minutes. Speaking and writing. Question number 1. Look at the following 3 units. First, reorder the items in each unit to make a meaningful sentence. Next, reorder the sentences to make a meaningful paragraph. Use correct punctuation marks in the paragraph. Number 1. And 18 fire tenders struggled. The fire began on Monday to douse the blaze till morning. Number 2. In a major fire, over 25 shops were gutted. Number 3. But property was destroyed, worth several lakhs. No casualties were reported. Reorder the items to make meaningful sentence. Use correct punctuation marks. Question 2. Read the following newspaper report given in the box below. The report given in the box says, Fire station goes up in flames. A fire chief was embarrassed when a station without a smoke alarm went up in flames. The building and a fire engine were destroyed in the blaze. Nobody was injured in the fire that was tackled by 30 firefighters in 6 fire engines from neighboring towns. Honeycomb, textbook in English for class 7. Page 123, poem. Meadow surprises. Walk across a green field, a park, or even under a clump of trees, and you will notice many wonderful things. What are some of the surprises a meadow has for someone with a keen eye and a sharp ear? Meadows have surprises. You can find them if you look. Walk softly through the velvet grass and listen by the brook. You may see a butterfly rest upon a buttercup and unfold its drinking straws to sip the nectar up. You may scare a rabbit who is sitting very still, though at first you may not see him. When he hops, you will. A dandelion whose fuzzy head was golden days ago has turned to airy parachutes that flutter when you blow. Page 124. Explore the meadow houses, the burrows in the ground, a nest beneath tall grasses, the ants' amazing mound. Oh, meadows have surprises and many things to tell. You may discover these yourself if you look and listen well. By Lois Brandt Phillips. Working with the poem. Question 1. Read the lines in which the following phrases occur. Then discuss with your partner the meaning of each phrase in its context. Number 1. Velvet grass. Number 2. Drinking straws. Number 3. Meadow houses. Number 4. Amazing mound. Number 5. Fuzzy head. Question 2. Which line in the poem suggests that you need a keen eye and a sharp ear to enjoy a meadow? Read aloud the stanza that contains this line. Question 3. Find pictures of the kinds of birds, insects, and scenes mentioned in the poem. Question 4. Watch a tree or a plant or walk across a field or a park at the same time every day for a week. Keep a diary of what you see and hear. At the end of the week, Write a short paragraph or a poem about your experiences. Put your writing up on the class bulletin board. Page 125. Read the following poem about the world of nature, which is as busy as the world of human beings. Busy world. Bees are buzzing, frogs are hopping, moles are digging, there's no stopping. Vines from climbing, grass from growing, birds from singing, winds from blowing. Buds from blooming, bees are humming, sunbeams dancing, raindrops drumming. All the world is whirling dizzy, summertime is very busy. By Francis Gorman Risser. In the box below, delivery delayed. Answer. The postman started moving around the trees in circles. The dog followed him, but as he did so, his leash got wrapped around the tree. The postman then safely walked up to the front door. Honeycomb. You were just listening to this audiobook.